Start of the third inning. The Pirates have tied the ball game 1-1. And the Mets will have the top of their order up to face Bronson Arroyo in the third inning. Melvin Mora, Derek Bell, and Edgardo Alfonzo. So Melvin Mora getting another start at shortstop. And perhaps most significantly, hitting out of the leadoff spot, which is something the Mets have been trying to fill really all year, even through Ricky Henderson's struggles. And Mora is certainly better suited to do that than Kurt Abbott. No balls, 1 strike on Melvin. Melvin 2 for 11 on this homestand, including the home run last night. Takes a breaking ball, 1-1. This is Melvin's 12th start at shortstop. Hit in the air to center field. Brian Giles is there, and there's 1 out. So Derek Bell coming up, and he'll provide tonight's quote, brought to you by Tri-State Consumer Auto Insurance. Call them right now for your free rate quote. Well, he's been slumping lately, but is he worried? Yeah, he says he's still got a pretty respectable batting average, so what?
It's not a slump, you know. I'm hitting 285, you know, or 280 or something around, you know, around the area, you know. And there's a lot of guys like to have my numbers that I have right now. You know, just that I start off so hot, you know, and, you know, I'm not Piazza that's going to hit 380, 360. So, you know, I just, you know, I'm around my, you know, career average, and I'm going out and I'm having fun and enjoying myself.
He's having fun, all right.
Not lately. He won the home run last night, but when you're in a slump, life is tough. Life is not fun.
Bet you it is when you live on a yacht.
Now, you know, when you're in a slump, you don't even appreciate nothing. You know, you say, well, this is tough, but you get a couple hits. The yacht looks nice. It's comfortable.
If there's no leak, he's not in the slump. That's his frame of mind. He had 2 hits in last night's game. Struck out his first time up tonight. Takes a bender there. It's ball 2. Tom Robson, the hitting coach, has spent plenty of time working with Bell.
Well, he was concerned that he felt Derek and Bobby Valentine was the same way, that they felt his mechanics were all fouled up.
Hold just foul, 2-2.
I think the biggest thing when you're in a slump is the inability to relax. If you can relax at the plate, that's half the battle. Relaxation and confidence. He's in the big leagues because he can hit. He's hit pretty much wherever he's played. So if you can relax, and if you can feel that you're a good player, a good hitter, I'm going to hit this guy, that's important.
Lays off a full count. You saw that strikeout total. That is not at all aberrational. He's always been a high strikeout hitter, an aggressive hitter.
That's why it's tough to bat him in the number 2 hole.
So a payoff pitch to Bell, and it's taken outside for ball 4. That is the first unintentional walk given up by Bronson Arroyo tonight. Join All-Stars Teresa Weatherspoon, Vicki Johnson, and the Eastern Conference champion New York Liberty as they take on Lisa Leslie and the Los Angeles Sparks at Madison Square Garden this Sunday, June 25th at 4 p.m. Tickets available at the Garden box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, including the Wiz stores, and online at thegarden.com. WNBA action at the Garden. And Edgardo Alfonzo up here at Shea Stadium in a 1-1 game of the third inning. First ball hitting, Fonzie fouls it off.
Talking to Fonzie today before the game down by the batting cage, and he'd love to someday be a 30-30 man. 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. He said it's tough on this ball club because of where he is hitting and who's batting behind him.
Especially now that he's in the 3-hole, having been vacated by John Olerud, with Mike Piazza behind him.
I asked him about it. I said, are you comfortable now in the 3-hole? He said, yeah, but it really doesn't matter. I said, it wouldn't matter if you came here and you're batting 8th.
You know, it's funny,
He
though.
said, good point.
You know what? Last year when he was hitting second, and the Mets would occasionally struggle for runs, and Bobby Valentine would tinker with the lineup, give John Olerud a day off, and move him up or around the batting order. Alfonso, by his own admission, was just not comfortable hitting third.
Well, sometimes, you know, we've talked about superstition in baseball, and if you're playing well and you're batting second, you like to stay there. I'm sure making that decision for Alfonso to go to second base, he had to make that decision. That must have been tough because he was getting comfortable at third.
Derek Bell, the base runner at first, now has always felt more comfortable in the 2-hole.
Oh, you know, it's funny. Derek doesn't want to hit any place but the 2-hole. Larry Dierker and Derek Bell got into it last year in Houston because Dierker wanted to move him further down the order to take advantage of his bat to drive in runs. Bell didn't want to go down in the order.
1-1 to Alfonzo.
Oh.
Hit hard through the middle. Bell will stop at second. A hard hit single by Edgardo Alfonzo, and the Mets have 2 on for Piazza.
Well, this should be a pretty good matchup now. Piazza will take on Arroyo after missing that hanging breaking ball 3-2. He changed speeds very well on Piazza. Here's Alfonzo. Bang! Arroyo did the right thing. Got out of the way. So we'll see how Arroyo pitches to Piazza right now. Threw him a lot of off-speed pitches his first at bat. Saw him lunge a few times. Also, when he did hit that hanger, he got under it.
And the first pitch, a fastball up and in. Remember, though, a totally different situation here. When Piazza was batting in the 2nd inning, he was leading the inning off. Nobody on base, of course. Now you've got 2 on with 1 out in this tie game. So he started him off with a fastball and missed. Behind in the count 1-0. And it's hit in the air, deep left field. This one's going a long way. How's that for adjusting? New York.
And folks, you're watching one of the best hitting catchers who ever played the game of baseball. And is he on a tear? He's considered the best hitter in the National League right now. 21 home runs in the season. And he made the adjustment, safe to say. First time up, popped up. Second time up, he pops it all. You know what? Similar area where that ball was. But when he hit the pop-up his first time up, the hanger was up in that area. Right there, he just crushed the ball. The question is, where is it going to come down? So Mike Piazza with another home run, 21 dingers on the year.
3 more RBIs, that gets him to 57.
He had last night off. Todd Pratt was able to catch the ball game. Mets won. Mike regained his strength. I'm not sure if he was losing.
Robin Ventura loops one the other way. That's going to fall in. Ventura extends his hitting streak, takes a wide turn as the throw comes in from Cordero. So Piazza's homer means he has a 12-game streak, and now Robin Ventura hits double figures. 10th game in a row that Robin has a base hit.
21 home runs. He's off to the best start of his career.
This goes to show you the difference too in the situations, huh, Fran? With nobody on, first time you saw Piazza, threw him a lot of breaking balls. Then here he falls behind in the count, and then bang, zoom.
It's funny, if you take a look at that pitch he popped up his first time up and take a look at where that ball was he hit out, almost in the same exact location. Not that you want to pitch Piazza there, by the way.
So now it's Seal, who extended his hitting streak to 12 games in the 2nd inning. 1 out, 4-1 New York. And it's 0-1 to Todd. Got the distance yet on that home run. I guess it's in the 400-foot neighborhood, which for Mike is routine. Base hit, Seal. Ventura pulls in at second. And the Mets have 4 straight hits now off of Brunson Arroyo. Got Melvin Mora on a fly ball to start the inning. Then he walked Bell. And now 4 straight hits. And so with Pete Vukovich having been thrown out of the game, Spin Williams, who is normally the bullpen coach, will come out, try and settle down young Mr. Arroyo.
Well, Piazza's hot. Ventura gets a base hit in left field. Zeal picks up another hit. That going into left field. And Arroyo is on the ropes. And now he's got to face Jay Payton. We were talking about Payton before. He's getting into that area now where you start thinking, well, who's the rookie of the year? I mean, we've got a long way to go, but all of a sudden, Payton is starting to impress a lot of people. It's funny, though, he stayed in the lineup and went in for defensive reasons when he was in his slump. We never even knew about his defense. And offensively, we heard about his offense, and now that's coming around.
Rafael Furcal of the Atlanta Braves and Mitch Molesky of the Astros are two other leading contenders early on with Payton. Ball 1 to Jay.
Big blow last night off the bat of Jay Payton when he tommy-hawked the ball over the right field fence.
Rick Ankiel, pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, but I mean, we knew about those guys a few weeks ago. Nobody was talking about Jay Payton as rookie of the year.
Pounded to third and hop over the glove of Ramirez. Around third, Ventura, he's coming home. On his way to third is Zeal. The throw goes there. Backed up by Arroyo. Down to second goes Payton. 5-1 New York. Boy, he hits the ball consistently hard.
And he caught a break right there. Aramis Ramirez, the third baseman, says, I think this double play. Nope. Bad off base hit in left field. Well, to have a good year, you have to be very productive, and you have to have some luck. And right there, Jay Payton had some luck. So Jay Payton picking up a base hit. And his first time up, he doubled, so he's 2 for 2. Picks up an RBI.
Well, they're going to try this again. They'll walk Akbayani to load the bases up and face Bobby Jones. Of course, last time that happened, Arroyo walked, or balked, pardon me, to force in the first run of the game. So Jay Payton gets his second hit of the night. It's a single. He goes to second on the throw. And the Mets with a 5-1 lead. Payton credited, by the way, with his 24th run batted in. So Arroyo is going to make sure not to balk here at the very least.
Well, he's got to get Bobby Jones out. They trail by 4, the Pirates do. Mets have the bases loaded.
So Todd Zeal is the runner at third. He helped cause that walk. Jay Payton at second. Benny Akbayani, who has not seen a pitch in anger yet, 2 plate appearances, on at first. See if Zeal tries to dash and distract Arroyo again. Nope. But Jones loops one to short right. Vanderwall coming on, and he makes the catch. Zeal was halfway.
Well,
not even, just about a third of the way down the line, so he has plenty of time to get back.
Well, that's what he had to do because the ball hit so shallow. You got to get down the line, whereas if the ball drops, you can score, and if it's caught, you can get back to third. So Bobby Jones just hitting a fly ball to right field, 2 outs. See the ball in shallow right field. Vanderwall coming in and reaching for it to make the grab. Zeal was halfway down the third base line, and he retreats. He knows it's too shallow to tag up, so he comes down and he realizes the ball will be caught. And he drifts back to third base.
Melvin Mora with a check swing foul ball up for the second time this inning. An inning that started innocently enough with Mora hitting a fly ball to center field. But then 7 straight Mets reached base. A walk. And then 5 straight hits followed by an intentional walk. 0-1 to Mora. Outside, ball 1. And the 27th pitch of this inning for Bronson Arroyo is low. It's 2-1. Rough inning for Arroyo, and Moore is trying to make it rougher here with the bases loaded. And the 2-1 pitch up in the zone, but Mora fouls it back, and that evens the count. Gene Lamont hoping Arroyo could just get out of this inning with no further damage. Mets with a 5-run lead. 3 of those runs came on Mike Piazza's 21st home run of the year. 3 straight games now with homers for Mike. Mora lines one down the left field line. In comes Zeal and Payton. Agbayani turns third as the ball was bobbled around in left field. He scores, diving into third base is Mora, and the Mets have an 8-1 lead. Melvin Mora clears the bases.
Well, Melvin Mora playing shortstop again tonight. He hit a home run in last night's game. He picks himself up a triple here and 3 RBIs. Just a few years ago, he was playing his baseball in Taiwan. Now he's diving head first in Flushing. So Melvin Mora, 3 RBIs. Derek Bell swinging through a fastball.
0-1 on Bell.
Look at this for production. Bang! A triple down a left field line with the bases loaded with Mets. 3-run score, and Melvin Mora hustling into third base with that head first slide. He picks himself up a triple.
Cordero kicked that ball around a little bit, but no error was charged. And so the Mets with a 7-run inning. They've had 6 hits. Homer and triple. As you see Cordero, the big hits. 1-1 to Bell. Out in front, a ball and 2 strikes. All of these, of course, earned runs charged to the account of Bronson Arroyo. Actually, they give Mora a double. They just changed it. Okay, they just put an error up on the board now. So Red Foley has changed the original scoring of triple to a double and an error. Slowly hit. Ramirez charges. Bell's going to beat this out, and the throw gets away. It goes into the stands, so Derek Bell will get second base as a bonus. Mora scores. 9-1 New York.
Well, Gene Lamont coming out of the dugout. He might be going out after the third baseman because of the throw. That lady right there said, I got myself a souvenir. So Gene Lamont on his way out to the mound. And he's going to make a pitching change. The Mets have 9 runs, and we are in the bottom of the third. They have scored 8 runs here in the third inning.
Well, there you go. The mascot Doug. 9-1-1. That sets up an emergency call to the bullpen.
Got to get rid of that mascot. He's not bringing any luck.
And that emergency 911 call to the pen is brought to you by AT&T. Get local and long distance together by calling 1-800-ATT-4ALL. 9-1 New York.
What'd you say, brother?
So he get. Now that's 1-1, right? Single.
Jeff Wallace.
Yeah. There's a runner on third, so Bell's going to get an RBI for that. Well, this scorecard looks beautiful already. Can't read my own writing.
This isn't pretty.
8-run inning. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The second baseman, number 13, Edgardo Alfonzo.
Well, Doug has a headache, but not as big as Bronson Arroyo. Just suffered through an 8-run inning, and the Mets may not be done yet. Alfonzo now facing the left-hander Jeff Wallace, who gets his first pitch over for strike one. Alfonzo in this inning singled and scored. He came around to score on Piazza's home run. Mike on deck, and if Alfonzo can keep it going, Piazza would have a chance to tie a world's record. Inside 1-1. It of course is a record held by many, that being 2 homers in 1 inning, but never before, I dare say, in front of a stuffed camel.
That's an unlucky mascot right there. It was lucky because they won 2 or 3. How can you possibly keep that guy sitting behind you like that?
You just got to put some sand down under it. They could have better luck. 2-1 on Alfonzo. The Mets with 8 runs in here in this 3rd inning. Derek Bell with an RBI single took second on the error by Aramis Ramirez. 2 errors in the inning now for the Pirates. Fouled away, 2-2.
We're talking about that 3rd hole that Fonzie is filling for the Mets this year and doing it in a very nice fashion. He's been very productive. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single. Once a game starts, after your first at bat, does it really matter? I think the only thing that matters is when you come to the ballpark, where you're batting in the lineup is what the manager thinks of you as a hitter.
2-2 to Alfonzo. And it's lined to right. That's a base hit. Here comes Bell around third. Vanderwall throw to the plate. Not cut off. Down to second goes Alfonzo. And on we go. 10-1 New York. 9 runs here in the 3rd inning. I'm going to do some fast fact finding, but I believe the Met record for runs in an inning is 10. With Mike Piazza coming up, could see some club history here as the sun sets early on Gene Lamont's Pittsburgh Pirates tonight.
Hey, go back and take a look at the guy that changed the atmosphere in this inning. This inning, bang, home run. It changes the atmosphere in the ball game. The Mets go on and score 9 runs, but Piazza once again lighting the fire.
Well, that world's record we talked about on the line here, or at least a share of it for Piazza.
And again, you know, talking about Mike Piazza, you have to think of Todd Pratt. He's able to go in there, and Bobby feels comfortable getting Mike Piazza a night off. Last night, Todd Pratt went in. The Mets beat the Phillies. Tonight, Mike Piazza comes out smoking again.
It's a 9-run inning. The club record is 10. 1-1 to Piazza. That record set back on June 12th, 1979. 10 runs in the 6th inning against the Cincinnati Reds here at Shea Stadium. Want to hear some names? Frank Tavares had a 2-run double. Richie Hebner, a 2-run single. Doug Flynn, a 3-run inside the park homer. 1-1 to Piazza. And now Wallace ahead of the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mets have done this against 2 Pirate pitchers, Fran. Bill Bonham, Manny Sarmiento, and Dave Tomlin. 3 Cincinnati Reds pitchers were attacked here by the Mets back in '79. Those days, the Mets weren't attacking too many pitchers. Kendall wants it away. It was, but off the plate. 2-2. Nine runs in on 8 hits. Most impressive piece of hitting done by this man, Mike Piazza, in this inning. About 20 minutes ago. 2-2 to Piazza. Fouled straight back.
Well, it's imperative to keep him rested because he is such a good hitter. And the Mets have been able to do it now with Todd Pratt. But boy, to keep this guy rested, last year at the end of the year, he was dog tired. Remember the playoffs against the Braves, how tired and banged up Piazza was. How do you keep him healthy? It's tough when you're a catcher, but there's ways to keep him rested.
2-2 on the way. Inside, ball 3.
Mike's pretty smart also. He'll tell Bobby Valentine when he is dog tired.
Alfonzo at second. 2 men out. 9 runs in. It's 10-1 New York. And the payoff pitch. Got him. And the record of 79 lives. A 9-run inning. An emergency. 9-1-1 sent Bronson Arroyo off the mound. Doug is battered and bruised, and so are the Buccos.